impeccable understanding of religion. So, conclusion, I'm going to conclude now. Simple question. Why do we need to read the works of Babasaheb? We want to, I want to remind you quote of Babasaheb. He says, those who do not know history cannot make history. As I said, our histories are obfuscated, our identities are erased. In this context, if you want to know the true history, you have to read Babasaheb. There is no other option. You have to read Babasaheb, you have to read Mahatma Jyotiba. This is the first reason. And secondly, there is also one more important reason. I want to show a very interesting story. As the chief architect of Indian Constitution, Dr. Ambedkar did everything that he could do to ensure the rights of most depressed classes in the community. The world has ever seen. He could have taken rest. Writing a constitution or authoring a constitution is the greatest thing an individual can do. He did that. He could take rest. But he did not do all those things. After finishing the drafting of Indian Constitution, many doctors and well-wishers advised Dr. to take rest because his health was in very bad condition. He was suffering with diabetes, hypertension, neuritis. I was reading the book of Dr. Sairam with tears because Dr. Ambedkar had to suffer so much. He could not sleep for 3 days, 4 days continuously. Still, he was working. We need to understand all these things. He could have taken rest. He could have stopped doing all these works. He could have just taken rest. But why did he take the risk, risking his own life to write all these books? This is a question that we need to ask. He could have obliged to the request of doctors, his wife, Dr. Savita, and others, but he did not. And after 1951, he actually began writing new books with an increased enthusiasm, even though his health was not good condition. So he began writing books like Revolution, Counter-Revolution, Realism, Hinduism, Third Dhamma, and many more. The cost of his valuable. We look at the pictures of Babasaheb in this last phase. We'll get emotional. Why did Babasaheb Ambedkar sacrifice his valuable health to write the books? He has already sacrificed so much, but still he was not satisfied. You look at this picture of Babasaheb. Look at this picture. I don't want to create a scene of emotion and something like that, but I want to show we need to understand. If you see my previous slides, they have these dashing pictures of Babasaheb. He became so ill, so frail in his health. Why did he do this? We need to understand this. This is a question that we need to ponder over with serious attention. In this context, is it not our responsibility to spend at least 30 minutes of our daily life reading the works of our emancipator Babasaheb? This is a question that we need to ask. I see some people online don't want to criticize anyone. People are reading Toni Morrison, James Baldwin, Marx, many other people. Great, please read them. No one is saying don't read them. But what about our Babasaheb? We sacrificed so much for our community, for our people of India, for the greatness and equality, liberty, fraternity, the peace of the world. Why are we not spending even a small amount of time to read his books? He's done so much for us. This is the question that we need to ask. This is a question that we need to ponder daily. Commit ourselves to do something, to read his works. That is my earnest appeal. I don't know if my entire presentation made sense or not, but I just wanted to convey the small thing that please read his works. They're very readily available. You can't complain because we have this fascinating site, baws.in. You need not to go to Maharashtra. If I want to tell my story, I could not get all those books, so I visited Pune to buy the books. But that is not the case now. You can find all these volumes digitalized, available very nicely. One website called baws.in. Of course, you have other websites of Government of India and other, but I personally don't like them, not properly arranged. But if you visit this website, baws.in, find all the volumes of books are neatly arranged, and you have this fascinating search option. If you want to search something in the writings of Babasaheb, say for example, what did Babasaheb say or talk about Darwin, Charles Darwin? You can type Charles Darwin, you find them different. This is a fascinating tool. You need to use this technology to read the works of Babasaheb. And this is my earnest appeal to all the friends who have taken their valuable time to attend this lecture. So in case if you're wondering where to start, because you have 22 volumes of Babasaheb, where do I start? In case you are wondering or worrying about that, I suggest you to read this chapter called A Warning to the Untouchables. In my opinion, this chapter summarizes the entire philosophy of Babasaheb in his own words. If you want to begin, read this chapter called A Warning to the Untouchables. It's present in the volume 5 of BAWS, and you'll love the writings of him. Finally, Dr. Ambedkar's final message, putting it here. He says, if there is any one lesson that you must learn from my life, it is this, that I have never disowned my community. I have been proud in sharing their happiness and misery all throughout my life. Will continue to do so. This message must resonate each and every one of us. Because even today, our people are suffering. They're subjected to ignominies of the worst sort. Don't want to go into that, but you know those things. We see these things every day. So it's high time that we read his works to understand our history, to fight the present injustice, and to build an egalitarian future. That's why we need to read Babasaheb, Mahatma Phule. And thank you so much for listening patiently to this lecture. I don't know what I conveyed, but my appeal again to please read the books of Babasaheb. That is what I wanted to convey. So thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. Charan sir, Prashant bhai, Anil sir, Sandeep bhai, PWS.in team.